Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, great. How are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. How about you?
I'm good, I'm good. So in today's session, stand neck straight, sit comfortably, and gently close your eyes. Start observing your breath. Just the natural flow of your breathing. Slowly begin to deepen your breathing. Slow, long, and deep inhalation. Slow, long, and deep exhalations. Relax the mind completely, preparing it for Om chanting. We'll chant Om one time, followed by the Shanti mantra. Inhale deeply for Om. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् Inhale for Om. Om. Shanti. 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 Join the palms together and rub them together. Place them on the eye. Very slowly, while blinking and looking at your palms, start coming back. Begin to open up the eyes. let us begin today's class. So, from today we are actually entering the practice of pranayama, right? And today the practice that we are going to do is given as a practice of pranayama in Hatha Yogic texts. So, Surya Bhedan Pranayama. Surya Bhedan, S-U-R-Y-A, Surya, B-E-D-H-A-N-A. Surya Bhedan Pranayama. So, before I start explaining about the pranayams, let me just briefly tell you. So, in Hatha Yogic text, 8 pranayams have been mentioned and all, right? And both Hatha Pradipika and Gehran Sahika, these are the 2 texts that are quite important for us, right? And these 2 texts, both of them contain the practice of Surya Bheda. So there is a mention of eight pranayams in Hatha Yoga Pradipika and Gehran Sahita, both these Hatha Yogic texts. And there is slight difference between the mention of the pranayams in Hatha Yoga Pradipika and Gehran Sahita. So 1 or 2 pranayams are different, right? Apart from that, other 6, I think 2 of them are different. Other 6 pranayam practices are the same in both the texts, right? So, Surya Bhedan. Let's come to the name itself. Surya, this word means sun. Right? And Bhedan. Bhedan means to pierce. Right? So when we are talking about the practice of Surya Bhedan Pranaya, we are actually talking about a practice which is like, to pierce, right? Or to awaken also. One can say to awaken. To pierce means in a way you are working on the awakening, right? So when you talk of Surya Bhedan Pranayam, you will see that Surya, like in Hatha Yoga classes also, I've already told you the presence of the Ida and Pingla Nadi, right? So when we are talking of the Pingla Nadi, again, Pingala, Pingla Nadi, right? So the right nostril, like the nadi that passes, the one we are working on the awakening of this nadi, right? So when you see the entire practice, you will see that the entire practice is focused on awakening or cleansing of this nadi so that energy can flow easily through this nadi, right? So Surya means not like sun. The meaning of sun over here actually is the Pingla Nadi. And like I have mentioned before, the sun aspect, right, or the Pingla Nadi, it is more like it has a connection with the activeness of the body, right? So you already know that the sympathetic nervous system, the one which is responsible for the fight and flight response, this system gets activated when the right nostril is more dominant, and it supports the day-to-day activities also. So when you are very active during the day, you will see that the right nostril is more dominant at that point of time. So this activeness in the body, this energy which keeps us quite active throughout our day and helps us to carry out all our tasks. So we are basically working towards it, right? So it's a great pranayam practice if you are like unable to give yourself that push to start doing something. So you can practice this, and then you can see your overall mind body, they become much more active because of the quality of this pranayam. Okay, so let's come to the very basic things, how we are going to begin this pranayam. So now that we are entering pranayam practices, it is very important to know that when you are making someone practice pranayam, it is always good to cue in some key practices. So far we have done normal breathing, the 3 sectional breathings, yogic breathing, Nadi Shodhana, and Kapalbhati. You can introduce any one of or a combination of these like we do in the classes before you actually make them step into the practice of pranayama, because it's going to be very helpful to establish the control over the breathing and preparing the breath for the pranayama practices. And from the beginning of the classes, I have been telling you that establishing yourself in the pre-practices is the most important part when it comes to the pranayama practice. These practices you will be able to do very easily if your breath is controlled, you are breathing correctly, and overall the breath is slow, long, and deep, right? So, but if your breath does not have this quality, then you will struggle with the pranayama, right? So it's always good to introduce these practices like before you take someone into the main pranayama practices, right? So first thing is your posture. So, right, all pranayams are done in sitting posture except Ujjayi. Ujjayi pranayam is the only pranayam which you can do in any body position, right? So when I will teach Ujjayi pranayam, I will tell you more about it. But you need to know in general, all the pranayams are done in a seated position, right? So when you do Surya Bhedan pranayam, your hands are like quite similar to Nadi Shodhana practice, right? So one hand is, you can use the Chin Mudra, right? Which is basically joining the index finger, tips of index finger and thumb together, and remaining 3 fingers, they right remain free. Just give me a moment. Okay. So due to like we have an internal meeting right now, so I'll begin the class again in 15 minutes. Okay, so you guys can join after 15 minutes. You can take a break in these 15 minutes. So we'll begin again in next 15 minutes. Okay. Yeah. So bye bye everyone. I'll rejoin in 15 minutes. See you soon. Okay.
15 minutes, yeah?
Sorry?
15 minutes?
Yeah, we start in 15 minutes.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah. So let's re-begin where we left off. So Surya Bhedan Pranayam, as I was explaining to you, one hand is going to be in Chin Mudra like this, right? Left hand, and the right hand will have the same position as the practice of Nadi Shodhana and Anulom Vilom. First 2 fingers will fold and place on the base of the thumb, or you can keep the first 2 fingers on your forehead, right? In the space between both your eyebrows. So let me just demonstrate one time, then I will come to all other aspects of the pranayama, right? So adopt the mudra that you prefer, right? And exhale completely. Then you close the left nostril and begin to inhale through the right nostril. Close the right nostril, Exhale through the left nostril. Then again, close the left nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Exhale through the left nostril. I just performed 2 rounds of Surya Bhedan. So let me just tell you the technique as well, right? So we, like in Anulom Vilom and Nadi Shodhan, we used to begin with the left side. So in Surya Bhedan, we begin with the right side. Right, same mudra I had adopted, and then I'll close the left nostril, inhale through the right nostril, right? And then close the right nostril, exhale through the left nostril. This is one round. Okay, after that, again, we are going to close the left nostril, inhale through the right nostril. Then close the right nostril, exhale through the left. So it's very simple. Very simple way is right. Exhale is left. Okay. Right. So again and again, you have to repeat this process. So now it's not like Nadi Shodhan where when you have exhaled through one nostril, you are inhaling through that again. No, you are again and again repeating this cycle. Right inhale, left exhale. Right inhale, left exhale. Like this. Okay. So this is the entire technique of Surya Bhedan. Let me come to the contraindications who should not do Surya Bhedan. Right, Surya Bhedan should not be practiced by people who are whose pith is very high. So in Ayurveda, you would have covered Vat, Pitta, and Kapha, right? So Pitta dosh, because this increases the heat in the body. So anybody who has any pith related issue, right? Heat in the body is too much. They should not practice Surya Bhedan. Why? Because it's going to work on increasing the heat in the body, right? So, heart patients do not go for this practice with retention. So like I told you, each and every practice has this aspect of retention and we are not going to do it. But in general, there is this aspect of retention. So when you go for advanced practices, then somebody who has heart conditions should not go for holding, right? High BP, all of these issues which are there in the body, in that case also Surya Bhedan is not recommended. Somebody who is too energetic, right? For them also this practice is not recommended. Why? Because again, it is increasing the flow of energy in the body, right? Everything related to the right nostril that is being activated. So at that point of time, it is not a good practice. For people who suffer from anxiety, they should not go for this practice. Ulcers, again, when you have ulcers, it is because of excessive heat. All of these issues in the body which come because of excessive heat in the body, those people should not go for Surya Bhedan practice, right? When we come to the benefits, first benefit that has been mentioned is that it is a great practice for people who suffer from Vat-related disorders. So like Pitta should not practice this. Vat-related disorders, if they practice this, they are going to derive a lot of benefits because it is said to balance Vat dosha, right, in the body, right? Somebody who is too introverted is having difficulty in communication. It is a great pranayam for them to practice. So because it puts you in a state of mind where the mind is activated, right? So somebody who suffers from depression, again, a good practice for them if they want to work on that aspect, right? So they can go ahead and practice Surya Bhedan. Again, it's increasing the heat in the body. So all the issues related to the body, like, if you are having low BP, for example. So these conditions, it's going to help you in order to activate the system, generate that form of heat in the body. Again, when we look on a spiritual level, Surya Bhedan is a great practice for the cleansing of the Pingla Nadi, right? So, like I said, Hatha Yoga, Hatha is all about balancing Ida and Pingla, but there are blockages in even the major nadis that we have. So, it helps to purify the Pingla Nadi, and at the same time, it activates it. Hence, Surya Bhedan should not be practiced too much, right? If I'm constantly working on activating one nadi again and again and again and again, then it will cause that imbalance. So even the Surya Bhedan is a great practice. Again, Surya Bhedan should not be practiced too much. So anywhere between 10 rounds, 20 rounds, it's good. Like, do not over practice it. For a beginner, 10 to 20 rounds is good enough, right? Do not go beyond that. Okay. Surya Bhedan should not be practiced when um, during warm temperatures. So right now, like in India, we are moving towards the cold temperature. So it is a great practice for you to do in cold temperature. In fact, if you are in a condition where you are feeling too cold, Surya Bhedan is going to help you, right? If you feel too cold, Surya Bhedan will help. But if you practice it in summers, it might have the opposite impact as well. So if you're not like, if you are in a warm environment right now, probably avoid Surya Bhedan at that point of time. Surya Bhedan should not be practiced after eating the food, even though it is activating the right nostril, the Pingla Nadi, which is connected hugely to your digestion. So another benefit of Surya Bhedan is that digestion gets better, right? So even though it is a great practice, practicing Surya Bhedan immediately after eating the food will lead to disturbance in the process of digestion. Like I told you before, also when we eat the food, all the energy rushes towards the stomach in order to aid the process of digestion, right? And at that point of time, if you do Surya Bhedan Pranayam, the energy, it will get distracted from that process. You are trying to, do something else with that energy, and that the body requires that energy in the process of digestion, right? So practicing immediately after eating food is not recommended when it comes to Surya Bhedan. Surya Bhedan should always be suspended if you are feeling discomfort at any point of time during the practice. And it might make you feel that discomfort in the beginning level. So as soon as you feel it, you can suspend the practice and wait for your body to come back to the normal condition, right? So these are the few benefits. I have told you the time duration, the posture, the technique. Yeah, I think I've covered everything that you need to know about Surya Bhedan. Are there any doubts, or else we will go into practice? Okay, great. Um, so we are going to extend a little bit today because we did not get that time, right, in between time. So might extend 5 to 10, anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes. So we are going to begin with the practice of abdominal breathing. Then we will do yogic deep breathing. Then we are going to do Nadi Shodhana, Anulom Vilom, sorry. And then we will do Surya Bheda. Okay. So 4 practices we are doing: abdominal breathing, yogic deep breathing, Anulom Vilom, and then we are going to practice Surya Bheda. Okay. So if everybody is ready, you can sit on your mat comfortably. Keep the back neck straight. And when you feel that you are comfortably seated in your posture, gently close your eyes. Start observing your breath. the natural flow of your breathing. Just become aware of this process of the body. Make sure you are stable in your posture. Slowly begin to deepen your breathing. Gently place the right hand on your abdomen. We'll begin with abdominal breathing. Exhale completely. Feel the abdomen contract. As you inhale, feel that rise in the abdomen. As you exhale, again, observe the contraction in your abdomen. Continue this breathing pattern. Slowly suspend your practice. Bring your hand down after completing the respiration, and then you can just observe the natural flow of the breathing. See how it has changed. Prepare yourself for the next practice, yogic deep breathing. Keeping the back and neck straight. Place one hand on your abdomen, one hand on your chest. Exhale completely. And begin to inhale, expanding the abdomen and the chest completely. Giving rise to the collarbones, and then go into the process of exhalation. Collarbone bones drop down, chest goes in, and you contract the abdomen. Continue yogic deep breathing for the next few breaths. Filling in the air fully and exhaling out fully. Complete your current breathing process and then suspend the practice. Come back to the natural breathing. Keeping the back neck straight. Just observe. Again, make sure back neck is straight. We are going to do a few rounds of Anulom Vilom. Make the mudra with your right hand, whichever one you are comfortable with. Exhale completely and close the right nostril. Begin to inhale through the left. Close the left nostril, exhale through the right. Then I'm inhaling again through the right. Exhaling through the left. This is one round. Continue your practice. Complete the round you're currently performing and then suspend the practice. Just observe the changes in your mind, in your body. Again, form the mudra with the right hand. Now we'll practice Surya Bhedan. So close the left nostril Inhale through the right nostril. Close the right nostril after inhalation and exhale through the left. Close the left nostril. Inhale through the right. Close the right nostril. Exhale through left. Again. Begin to inhale through the right. Close the right. Exhale through left. And continue for a few more rounds. We'll see that the air which is flowing out left nostril after exhalation is warm. It's warmer than the normal warmth of the breath. Just complete the round you're currently performing and then suspend your practice. Just observe how you feel after a few rounds of Surya Bheda. We'll end today's session by chanting Om one time, followed by 3 Shantis, keeping the back neck straight. Inhale deeply for Om. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Join the palms together and rub the palms together. Place them on the eyes. Allow your eyes to absorb this heat. One more time. Rub the palms together. Place them on the eyes. Very slowly while blinking and looking at the palms. Start coming back. Open up the eyes. Namaste everyone. Shanti. Are there any doubts related to today's practice? Okay.
What is the start time of this class? Because I'm confused. What time does this class start in Indian time?
3 o'clock, 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Okay, thank you very much.
Ma'am, do we have breathe through abdomen or the thoracic region?
See, when you perfect the breathing, so you generally take a full breath. So yogic deep breathing, in the sense that clavicular is generally suspended, like I told you when I was teaching yogic deep breathing. So both abdomen and chest, so that full breath is taken. Like during all the pranayams, try to take the full breath rather than going for a sectional breath. Take full breath, but clavicular, because it like strains too much, it is eventually suspended. So abdomen and thoracic both.
Okay.
Any other doubts?
What time does the next class start? Like the next class after this?
5 p.m. IST.
Okay, thank you very much.
So I'll see you all of you tomorrow then for your philosophy class. Om Shanti to everyone and enjoy your break. Bye-bye.
Bye
Om
bye.
Shanti.
Shanti.
Shanti.